Alright, dang, Christ the Saints time. Got old Carnage up in here, and at least he's at a lower quality build than what we're used to. He's a red, black, and green user. Red does team damage, but it does more damage to the target. The additional effects about his red don't really matter because this is a one-on-one fight. His black ability allows him to create attack tiles at the start of the turn. Obviously, his attack tiles are going to be a lot stronger than the ones that he gives us. But the I guess the benefit is he can only have a maximum of 10 attack tiles on the board. So, well, 10 attack tiles that are friendly to Carnage. You know, we can have infinitely many. He can create us infinitely many, but as long as he has 10 attack tiles, he can't create any more. And then finally, his green ability, Carnage Rules, costs 8, deals damage to the target, and depending upon how many special tiles he destroys off of that green ability depends upon the damage that he'll do. So it could do anywhere from a small amount of damage to, maybe half of your health is gone. Somewhere along in there. And of course his affiliations are villains and I wanna say Sinister Six, though team affiliations in this game here are kind of wonky, or just affiliations in general. And then finally, we got Eddie Brock Venom. His powers are green, black, and yellow. His green costs 13, though it gets cheaper depending upon how many enemy strike, attack, or protect tiles are on the board. It'll get as low as 7 green. But it'll destroy some number of tiles based on the number of enemy strike, attack, or protect tiles that are destroyed, and then he'll just do target damage to the enemy. So I think mine will do about 5,000-6,000, some it might be 7,000. I'll double check and see when we begin the fight. His black ability is a passive and increases his match damage for yellow, black, and green, but also increases the match damage done to him in his off colors: purple, blue, and red. I'm trying to think if there's another thing that he does too with his black, if I'm not mistaken. Oh yeah, enemy projectiles are reduced by 50%. That was the other thing I always forget. So for enemy projectile is like strength 150. Well, now it's strength 75, and that's passively. And then that'll lead fully into Lethal Protector. Lethal Protector is an active and a passive ability. The passive, if Eddie does damage to the enemy, or just any sort of damage that's done to the enemy, and it reaches past whatever the threshold might be, he'll create an enemy projectile on the board. And then for non-yellow, he'll do target damage, and he'll do more damage based on the number of enemy projectiles that are on the board, up to a max of 6. So you see here, that's 5,000 damage, and then an additional 1,500 damage for that. All right. His affiliations are villains, should be Sinister 6, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, Billy's in Sinister 6. Though technically Eddie's a hero, but we're not gonna get into all that there. As far as if you were a lesser equipped Venom, obviously you want to boost your green, black, and you maybe want to increase your yellow AP, but any green and black boosts are probably going to be your friend. Here I'm just boosting purple because again, purple's a neutral color, and let me see what this does. Okay, so 5,000 until 59, yeah, so less than 6,000. I almost forgot to turn the animations on. Also, our primary goal is to sort of kind of deny red as best as we can, but just know, red is, Carnage is going to get his red off, so it's just a matter of just mitigating how much it does. Also, too, want to try and avoid any him making as much red as possible because of the give and take. Because again, it does 25%. Their max damage is increased by 25% on any of our off colors, which Carnage happens to share in red. So we can get the projectile on the board. That's the main thing. And you see how weak Eddie is when it comes to making, those matches there and trying to get his projectiles to activate. Yeah, I wish it kind of was an accumulatory in damage, but yeah. Alright, now we'll be able to activate the symbiote Fury. Like I said, as you can see, it destroys a random tile for each special tile, any special tile on the board. So, like I said, you can see some pretty insane damage there. And then Carnage will take his last turn, and then we'll activate Lethal Protector, and then blow him away. Okay. Give him that dad bod strength, Eddie. And there's legendary token. Obviously, you can tell this is not the first time that I played today because I hopped in some PvP. Gotta fight this person here. We'll do that there after we're done with the other video. But we do want to take a look at Eddie. Talk about his rework, well, I should say, in the past, and then how he used to be, how he is now, and obviously people to team him up with. His green always did the same thing, Symbiotic Fury. They deal the damage and then destroy random tiles on the board. Honestly, if I were to rework Eddie, this is gonna be a 7 AP move. I get the idea. The symbiote, not really taking certain threats seriously or whatever. It's like its own brand of justice. But yeah, this has just got to be 7 AP, and I guess keep the damage the same, or it will actually overscale it up just a little bit more. Maybe like 7 AP, 7,000 damage, something like that. There, you know, nothing too ridiculous. And again, you can keep the whole destroy random tiles for each enemy special tile on the board. You know, or it boosts the damage a little bit more based on the number of enemy special tiles you destroy. You know, obviously don't generate any AP, but for what it does, I mean, it's an okay board shape. Board, you know, Carnage is technically a little bit better, but you know, whatever. Give and take. Now this ability here, this here changed twice. Originally, it was just you know, reducing the amount of the projectiles that were on the board, and then they did it to where I'm trying to think, it was projectiles were decreased, but 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 the damage with strike tiles and attack tiles were increased. It was like it was weird how this shit would work, and then sometimes the give and take interactions wouldn't work with the protect tiles, and like, okay, whatever. So how they have it now, so where you reduce the strength of enemy projectiles by 50%, and then you increase, you know, Venom's match damage, you know, a little bit more. I mean, that's good. And then, you know, increase the match damage from purple, you know, on Venom. That's, you know, again, that's fine, because again, thematically, red, purple, and blue happen to be colors of Spider-Man, you know, traditionally. Uh, red and blue, you know, most Spider-Man have, with the exception of five-star Peter Parker, and of course Bagman. And then blue and purple are what the one-star Spider-Man Original, Bagman, and Black Suit Spider-Man have. And that's what I meant. That's what I meant by 5-star Spider-Man. The black suit, the black cloth suit Spider-Man. A lot of folks think, oh man, that's the alien costume. No, that's a suit given to him by Black Cat. It's like the actual symbiote itself is by Eddie. Though I wouldn't be mad if they came out with the symbiote Spider-Man costume. I wouldn't be mad. And then at level 5 with this here, you know, reduce all enemy projectiles to 1, and it's just that Eddie's green and yellow abilities are much better than you know, reducing enemy projectiles to 1. And like, there's more characters to deal with enemy projectiles now than it was when Eddie came out. And even then, it's like, you know, is really reducing the strength of enemy projectiles really worth it in the grand scheme of things? Not really. Then in Lethal Protector, well, this is his yellow ability, and costs 9. Again, it deals damage, and then additional damage for each enemy projectile on the board. Now, a cheeky way to get around is like to do this here is like if you're facing off against 2-star Bullseye, and you happen to have Venom engaged, you get enough yellow, and then you can pop him for the 5,000 plus whatever projectiles that they have on the board. You know, that's a good way to get around him. And then also too, Like each time when you fire off the yellow, or you fire off any of Venom's abilities, you'll be able to um to get the lethal protector to activate or proc as many times as you can do damage them for 642 or more health. Now again, I so with him being a 4-star, I think again that damage cap should be a little bit lower. I'm not saying it's like all matches, like yo, every match he should create a projectile, but no, like if you make a match on green, or a match 4 on green, a match 4 on black, or a match 4 on yellow, that should reasonably activate Luther Protector, or if whatever the case might be. Again, I think the threshold should be a little bit lower, though. In 5-star land, it's like every match we make in 5-star land would activate Lethal Protector. So whatever. Now, as far as people to pair Eddie Brock with, well, the natural synergy you would think would be with 4-star Carnage. Not necessarily. Prophet or Null, because again, he likes having enemy special tiles on the board. Uh, his attack tiles, they're pretty weak. 330, 332. But if you get two of them on the board, which you will get two of them on the board at the in 2 turns, you'll start to activate Eddie's his lethal protector projectile, which once you get one more special tile on the board, one more attack tile on the board for the enemy team, then Carnage will start to make his auto matches, which is his which is not necessarily his red eye monsters, but again, if you match, enemy strike, attack, and protect tiles, you'll create an attack tile on the board. But again, his black ability, null and void, makes an auto match. I should have said, yeah, no, I was right. After two turns, yeah, you'll get enough attack tiles on the board to activate it. Because I was looking at this here and I forgot. Oh yeah, it creates 2 attack tiles on the board. And then Blood Feud, doesn't really matter if Eddie's taking damage, or if he's paired up with his father, his other father or grandfather, so to speak. You're not really worried about health. It's like, hey, you want to inflict as much, dare I use the pun, carnage as possible. Then also Noel. Now Noel just blanketly just ignores projectiles. Period. So you're able to get around the whole, circumventing the Eddie portion of the projectiles, about the strength being reduced to 50%. It's just, again, with Null, it's 0. Like, because again, he ignores projectiles. With Carnage and Venom, they have to contend with the 50% projectiles. Then, of course, Null is gonna create strike tiles on the board with his Summon Dragon's ability. His Immortal Cold ability gives you additional attack tiles, which was when those countdown tiles reach 0. So there's more projectiles on the board for Eddie to do his thing. The only green that you really gotta that's active that you have to contend with. Well, two actives are with Carnage and with Venom, and it's just more of okay, what do you want to do? Do you want to use Eddie's green to just mop up anybody that's near death, or do you want to continue the board shakes and inflict as much pandemonium as possible? So that's that. And then null space again. This one here, converts um, special tile. I mean, converts green basic tiles into purple tiles, and then like, this might hurt the whole green aesthetic because you want to destroy stuff with either Carnage or Eddie, and then Null just wants more purple on the board. So again, it's a balancing act that you want to you got to deal with. Now for the 4-star tier, the one thing that I did with Eddie, obviously paired him up with his son Carnage, and so that way now you pretty much are gonna be inflicting damage each turn because as you can see, my Carnage is a 5/5/3. Because again, while I'm cool with the the additional special tiles destroying stuff on the board, I'm additionally like I want to be annoying as I possibly can. So there you go. But mainly with Eddie, just anybody that can give out enemy special tiles, like a Prowler, so to speak. Prowler gives out enemy special tiles, and again, you want to use Prowlers. You can use Prowlers tile fortification on enemy special tiles to take away those special tiles. So if you wanted, I mean, the attack tiles, the protect tiles, or the strike tiles, and if you want to, take their protect tiles away to, to protect yourself, you have that option as well. I mean, you could use Sabretooth, but it's really is a it's kind of goes against the whole thing. Is like you want special tiles on the board, but Sabretooth is like strike tiles. Like I'm just anti strike tiles, so it might not necessarily be a great option, but he's an option to use. None of the web users, so like Silk or any of the Spider-Man or it's like who else am I missing? Like as far as the spider goes, like Spider Ham, like really doesn't make any sense because again they make web tiles. You would think Venom would make web tiles, but alas no. And obviously you can't use anti-venom, or you can't use Agent Venom Flash Thompson with Eddie Brock because Agent Venom actually wears the symbiote, though he's technically Agent Anti-Venom now, and Eddie's actually still Venom. And there was just a weird point in time in comics in the mid 2000s, early 2010s where Eddie wasn't in control of the symbiote, but they were like, oh man, well we can't have Eddie not be in control of some sort of symbiote, so let's just make something up like, yo, the blood cells up in his blood cells can you know make him into a symbiote because of because of his cancer treatments or whatever, you know. So I guess in a sense, yeah, he would be anti-Venom because, well, you know, he makes web tiles and this version, and he doesn't make web tiles, you though you would think the symbiotes would have some interaction with web tiles, considering the fact that some of them were bonded to Spider-Man-esque characters. Again, comics are weird. I'm gonna see here anybody else that can give away an enemy. Oh, Mr. Fantastic. No, he would actually be a good option. But again, you have to have him, you know, as a complement to like the Eddie and Carnage team. Like you'd have Mr. Fantastic taking those enemy special tiles, and then having, you know, either himself, Eddie, or Cletus, you know, activate one of their powers and, you know, create some sort of chaos and confusion on the board. So again, the main thing that you wanna have with Eddie, somebody that can create enemy special tiles on the board so that you can A, make his green a lot cheaper. B, you want some sort of consistent damage to where you could create your protect tiles on the board. So like a cloak and dagger might actually be a good option because they can create attack tiles that can generate yellow. But what I mean by generating an attack tiles, you know, they generate friendly attack tiles at the start of the turn. But if you get enough attack tiles on the board, you can start to activate Eddie's yellow passively. They generate yellow, so you're not gonna run out of yellow on the board anytime soon. So I don't know. Again, that's an option there. So that's gonna at least end this video here, man. I said this was almost 30 minutes, and it really shouldn't have been. Whoops. So we're gonna take a look at the next crash. Well, okay. Well, we go from Eddie's quote unquote dark side to Eddie's quote unquote light side, and we'll take a look at Agent Anti-Venom. This is a character I don't have enough experience on, but that we'll do my best to try and weave and finagle not necessarily the complexities of the character, but where he fits at on the all Spider-Verse teams. So we'll look at him. We'll look at him in about another 4 days, 4 days and 14 hours, or I should say 5 days and 14 hours, whatever the case might be. Daylight savings time in America is, you know, whatever. So we got that, and I'm gonna catch you guys in a little bit on the Welcome to Shield with Icarus, distraction free.